appease him. We let him do what he wants to do in order to stop another war. So the book talks about, is Hitler unstoppable at this stage? Now he starts to get more cheeky, braver. This time he goes into the western part of Czechoslovakia. It's called the Sudetenland. Well, there's lots of German speakers, and he takes that over. And at this point, we're really starting to get worried. So the British Prime Minister, he's called Neville Chamberlain, there he is. He goes to Munich in Germany, has a meeting with Hitler, sometimes called the Munich Agreement, and he says, peace, don't worry everyone, I've been to speak to Hitler, there's not going to be another world war. He's promised he will stop taking over more land, he's promised he won't take over all of Czechoslovakia, and he talks about peace in our time. And we all know that didn't happen. At the time, though, they thought appeasement could work. We can stop Hitler from starting more wars. We can have a peaceful Europe. Now, the book doesn't talk about this. I just want to quickly talk about, why did Britain, France, America appease Hitler? Why did we let him build up his army? Why did we let him take land back that he wasn't supposed to take? Well, there's several reasons. The first reason, and there is Chamberlain meeting Hitler in Munich in 1938. The first reason is nobody wanted another war. World War I had been terrible. Millions of soldiers had died. These men, their sons had died, and some of them had even fought in World War I as officers. Nobody wanted another war. So if they thought you could give Hitler a little bit of what he wanted to stop another war, it was worth it. And of course, lots of people had realised by the late 1930s, that the Treaty of Versailles had been very harsh. It wasn't just Germany's fault World War I began, and it was a very harsh treaty, and they had the right to defend themselves and have an army bigger than 100,000. But another thing that's happening in the late 20s, early 30s, is in the early 1930s, is the Great Depression. The world economies collapsed. Wall Street crash, 1929. By the 1930s, America, Britain, France, their economies are really struggling. Nobody's got the money to fight a war. Nobody's got the money to stop Hitler. No one wants to disrupt their economies by having a war, because it's bad for trade. So, and the last reason, controversially, no one said this at the time, was that Britain, America, even France, they didn't want Soviet Union to take over their country. They were worried about communism, and they knew that Hitler hated communism, and if there was a big anti-communist country in Europe, it would protect them from the Soviet Union, who may invade Europe at some point. So people thought, we don't like Hitler, but he's better than Stalin. He's better than communism. Now, what happens next then, to go back to the textbook, is Hitler has turned out to be a liar. He doesn't stop at the Sudetenland. In March 1939, he takes all of Czechoslovakia. There's more appeasement. We don't invade Germany at this point. We let him take all of Czechoslovakia, which is terrible for the Czechs and the Slovaks. But at this point, Britain says, look, this is it now. You have to stop. Do not dare invade Poland. If you invade Poland, it's war. Now, Hitler thinks that they're lying. He thinks they're not going to stop me. They didn't stop me in Austria. They didn't stop me in the Rhineland. They didn't stop me in Czechoslovakia, Sudetenland. They're not going to stop me in Poland. So what he does is he plans to take over Poland. First of all, he does a deal with Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, who he hates, but he doesn't want to fight him yet. And Stalin feels the same. Stalin hates Hitler, but he's not ready to fight him yet. So they do a deal over Poland. Stalin will have the east of Poland. Hitler will have the west of Poland, which used to be in Prussia and Germany. He does that secret deal in August 1939, and then September 1939, he invades Poland. And this time Britain says no. It's war. And there's a little audio file here of Neville Chamberlain
speaking to you
announcing to the British public that World War II has begun. Take a quick listen.
Undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
So scary times. My own grandfather remembers that day. He was listening to a cricket match in the garden, and that came on the radio, and very scary times. Now,
I am speaking.
oops. So, what happens next? The book talks a little bit about this. So, nothing happens for a couple of months. October, November, December, early years of 1940. Not much happens, but by the summer of 1940, Hitler invades Western Europe. April, May 1940, and it's very quick. He manages to take over nearly all of Europe very, very quickly. Not like World War One. It's blitzkrieg. He takes over Luxembourg, Belgium, Holland, Denmark, nearly all of Scandinavia, France. He doesn't manage to get Britain because it's an island, but he completely dominates. Then he goes against his deal he did with Stalin, and he invades the Soviet Union. And then the next part of the textbook is about what happens next. America coming into the war, all the fighting in Europe. It's very interesting, very disturbing. So there's a map. There's Europe in 1942. You can see Hitler's completely dominant. He's almost in Moscow. He's taken over North Africa. And apart from these neutral countries and Britain, he's winning. It doesn't last, but he's winning. Anyway, that's the build up to World War II. Hope it made sense. Don't forget to read the textbook, page 80 to 83. And then the main events of World War II start from page 84 onwards. All right, everyone. Cheers. Bye.